Hi guys, welcome to this Yoga Sissel video. We are at Cape Leveque. We're staying at a place called Guljaman Camp. It's absolutely amazing, so I wanted to share it with you. And this is going to be a shorter, half an hour flow. So, step onto your mat wherever that may be. You might be on the beach like me. It's awesome practicing on the beach. You just get to really ground down. Either way, wherever you are, stand on your own 2 feet and have your feet about hip distance and maybe even a little wider so you feel nice and broad. And we're just going to start with some shoulder rolls. We're just using the shoulders to let your arms hang. Roll your shoulders forward, all the way up, back and down. Shoulder rolls forward, all the way up, back and down. And all the way up, back, and down. And then bring the back of your hands together. And drawing the fingers up through the midline, or along the midline. Hands all the way up. And then tucking the chin, rolling, full body roll down towards the floor. Fingers to the mat, or to the sand. And then bring the back of your hands together, sink into the knees. Full body roll all the way up. Hands travel along the midline. And again, getting a little bit of movement into the spine. And sink all the way down so the hands touch the floor. And rolling all the way back up. And now you're going to turn to your right. And you're going to roll down. Let your knees point straight forward. Roll down towards your right little toe. And the back of the hands meet. Rolling all the way up. And then down through the middle. Back of the hands together, rolling all the way up. Getting a little bit of movement into the spine, the shoulders, and then turning to the left. And rolling all the way down. If you can, let your knees track forward. And then back of the hands together, rolling all the way up. And then rolling all the way down through the middle. Fingers to the floor. Heart forward, head forward. And then curl in. And again, inhale, heart forward, head forward. This time hold. And as you exhale, lengthen your spine. Stick your neck out. Reach your forehead a little further. Then inhale, pull the chin towards your chest. And then exhale, reach the top of your head towards your toes. Back of the hands meet. Rolling all the way up. And all the way down. Good. Fingers on the floor. Heart forward, head forward. Half lift. And curling in. It's like a wave at the beach. And again, half lift. This time stay here. Heart forward, head forward. Lengthen a little bit longer. And then inhaling chin to chest. Exhaling top of the head towards your toes. Sink down, back of the hands touch, rolling up. Palms touch overhead, and then arms along your side. Good. Now I will just turn to the top of my mat so you can see me from the side. I'm going to add on. So, feet either together or hip distance, whichever you prefer. And then drawing the fingers up along the midline for a sun salute. And then rolling all the way down, fingers to floor, head to knee. Heart forward, head forward. Keep the fingers on the floor. Step your right foot back. Knee to the floor. Point the back toes, squeeze your butt. And rolling your arms, your spine up. And rolling down, head towards your knees, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toes, stepping back, down dog. And then lifting your heels up high, rolling forward, high plank. Bring your knees to the floor. And then round your spine like an angry cat. Point the toes. And then letting your spine drop. Your heart comes forward. Your bum squeezes. Up cat. Or a happy cat. And then again, rounding the spine. Angry cat. Now keeping your lower back in this angry cat position. So the lower back is rounded. Feel your abdominals switch on, your bum squeezing a little. And then just taking your heart forward as if you wanted to dip the spine between your shoulder blades. The arms are straight. And you might notice a little bit of resistance because this part of the spine, the upper spine, is a little stiffer. And then rounding your back, tucking the toes, sitting back onto your heels, puppy stretch, and then lifting the knees, downward facing dog. Lifting your right leg by squeezing your right buttocks. The leg lifts up nice and strong, and then you step the foot forward. Left knee to the floor, squeeze your bum, rolling your hands to the sky, back toe points, and then bring your hands down. Tuck the back toes, step forward, heart forward, head forward, and curl in. And again, fingers on the floor, eyes forward, heart forward, and step the left leg back, knee to floor, point the toe. Now, you can either keep the back knee on the floor, or as you take your hands up, you might lift the back knee, make sure your toes are pointing straight back, and then lower the knee, lower the hands. Stepping back, down dog. Lifting your heels up, rolling forward, high plank. Now you can either bring your knees to the floor for the angry cat, or keep your knees off the floor and it's an angry cat plank, trying to round your back a whole lot. And then without dropping your whole spine, without dropping your hips, the heart comes forward. So it's that half happy cat, half angry cat, whether your knees are on the floor or off the floor. And then we'll all bring our knees to the floor, angry cat. Looking at your belly button, pointing your toes. Then tuck the toes, sit back onto the heels. Lift the knees, down dog. Lifting your left leg up using your buttocks. And step the foot forward. Right knee to the floor, point the right toes. And taking your hands to the sky. Maybe the back knee lifts, maybe it doesn't. And knee to the floor, hands down. Tuck the back toes, stepping forward, eyes forward, heart forward. Curling in. Back of the hands together, sink down, rolling all the way up. Taking your hands to the sky, and arms along your side. Good, we're going to add on a little bit more. So just take your feet a little bit wider, so you've got a nice broad foundation. Bring the back of your hands together. So remember those shoulder rolls. Now the arms are going to move as well, but it's still just a shoulder roll. Starting with your right arm. So the back of the hands together, so your little finger is going to point the direction you're going to move, but the shoulder moves forward. The shoulder moves up, 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 the arm follows, the shoulder moves up. It's like a really slow motion backstroke. Arm comes down, and the back of the hands touch. The left side, so the left shoulder goes forward. The left shoulder goes up, 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 up. The left shoulder goes back. And down. And the back of the hands meet. So we're going to add on. And rolling all the way up. And curling down. Fingers to floor, head to knee. Heart forward, head forward. And the right foot steps back. Knee to floor. Squeeze your bum, rolling up. And the back of the hands together. Good. So your left hand is to the inside of the left knee. And the right shoulder goes forward, big shoulder roll. The right little finger leads the way. Up, back, down, together. Now the right hand stays to the inside of the left knee. And the left shoulder goes forward, up, back. Now you have to really squeeze your butt to help keep you stable and balanced. Good. Now with the back toes tucked, fingers move in past your belly button. And you lift up to a high lunge. Back heel to the floor, open out to your warrior two. Good. Feeling nice and strong. Adjusting your stance, you might like to make it longer or shorter. And then from here, reversing your warrior. Right hand to right leg. And then let the shoulder move down. Just rolling the shoulder. Left arm onto left thigh. And the right arm circles and lifts you back up. Warrior two. And then straightening the front leg. Reversing your triangle pose. And then as you bend the front knee, it's the same thing. Coming into our supported side angle pose. And you lift you back up, straightening the leg once more, reversing your triangle. And as the knee bends, you circle the arm down. You might take your side angle pose a little deeper. Maybe your arm stays on the leg. Maybe bring your fingers to the floor and stretch your arm past your ear. And then from here, we're all going to straighten the front leg, straightening out the spine. You really push that front hip towards the back foot. Triangle pose. And then letting your arm circle down. Lift the back heel. High lunge with an up cat sensation. And then lower the back knee to the floor. Keep your front toes pointing, straighten the front leg. An angry cat half split. And then as you pull the toes, your left toes towards your face, sit back onto your right heel. You keep stretching your fingers forward. And then planting the front foot. Both knee bend. Squeeze your bum, take your hands up towards the sky. You're in your low lunge. Bring your hands to your prayer. Now bringing your right elbow to the left thigh. So if you bring it to the thigh, you really have to curl to twist. So you use your abdominals to bring you into the pose. And then inhale to release, circling your hands up. And then bringing your hands down to the floor, stepping back, down dog. Lifting up, rolling forward, high plank. Good. And the knees to the floor, or keep your knees straight for an angry cat plank, or knees on the floor for a full angry cat. And then keeping your lower back rounding, bum squeezing, abdominals working, heart forward, half an up cat. And then bring your knees to the floor, angry cat, point your toes. From here, sending your hips towards your hands, resting on the tops of the feet. You can keep your knees on the floor, and then kneeling upward facing dog. Bend a little into your elbows, so you can shrug your shoulders up and back. Your hips are trying to pull forward to your hands are trying to pull back towards your hips. And angry cat. Look at your belly button. Sit back onto the heels, puppy stretch. And lifting the knees, downward facing dog. The inhale floats, right leg up, squeezing your buttocks, and stepping the foot forward. Back knee to the mat, pointing the toes. Squeeze your bum, lifting your hands up. Maybe the back knee lifts. And then bring your hands down to the floor. Fingers on the floor, eyes forward, heart forward, stepping forward, and curling in. Second side. Eyes forward, heart forward, and the left leg steps back, knee to floor. Squeeze your bum, roll your spine up, arms up, and then bring the back of the hands to touch. We start with the open side first. Right palm to the inner right knee, and the left shoulder goes forward. All the way up. Left little finger leads the way. Circling all the way back. Down. Forward, and the back of the hands touch. Second side. Back of the left hand to the inner right knee. The right shoulder goes forward. Up. Back. What? Down. And forward. Together. Good. Tucking the back toes. Spiral the fingers in as you lift the back knee up. And then opening out, warrior two. Again, you can always adjust your stance, making sure the back hip is slightly angled forward, the front knee pointing straight forward. And then we reverse the warrior, left hand to left leg, right hand up and over, and then just circling with your shoulder and your arm, right arm to right thigh, left arm continues the circle, and brings you back up to your warrior two. Then we reverse a triangle, straighten the front leg, leaning back, and then circling the top arm. As you bend the front knee straight forward, arm onto thigh, left arm continues the circle, brings you back to warrior two. And third time, straighten the front leg, leaning back, and then circling the top arm. As you bend the front knee, maybe take it a little deeper with the bend of the knee, and maybe your right fingers come to the floor. Your left arm might reach up towards the sky or forward. Remember, you can always leave the right arm on your thigh. And then the arm continues to lift you back up. And straighten the front leg. The right hip moves towards the left foot. So we really deepen the right hip crease. Straighten the spine, triangle pose. And the left arm circles down. Back heel lifts, fingers frame the front foot. Eyes forward, heart forward. Up cat lunge. Lower the back knee. Straighten the front leg. But keep the front foot pointed. Head towards your knee. Like an angry cat, half split. And then as you sit back onto your left heel, flex the right foot. It's an up cat. Fingers reaching forward, heart forward. And then plant the front foot. Squeeze your bum, rolling your hands up towards the sky. And then bring your hands towards your heart. Okay. Just keeping your bum squeezing so you can feel yourself feel nice and stable. And then you're going to bring your elbow to the middle of your thigh for your twist. So low lunge, prayer twist. Press the top hand into the bottom hand. Keep your chest nice and open. So noticing if you're collapsing, how can you open the chest even more? Broaden the collarbones. Press the top hand into the bottom hand. The elbows moving apart. And then coming back to center. Take your hands up. And then bring your hands down to the floor. Stepping back. Down dog. And then from your down dog, rolling forward, high plank. And either bring your knees to the floor for your angry cat, or stay in your plank position for an angry cat plank. And then the lower back stays in your angry cat position. The heart comes forward. Collarbones are broad. And we're all going to bring the knees to the floor. Toes point, angry cat. And then sending your hips towards your hands for kneeling up dog. Or full upward facing dog, staying on the tops of your feet. And this is like our pointed lunge where we lift the knee. The tops of the feet pressing into the floor, bum squeezing. The hips moving towards the hands. The hands moving back towards the hips, broadening across the collarbone. And then bring your knees to the floor. Round your back like an angry cat. Sit back onto your heels, puppy stretch. And lifting the knees, downward facing dog. With your left buttocks, lift your left leg strong. And step your left foot forward. Lower the back knee to the floor. Maybe pointing the right toes. And as you lift up, our pointed toe lunge. Just got a gust of wind. And lowering down, hands to the mat. Stepping forward, eyes forward, heart forward. And curl in. Sink down, back of the hands together. Rolling all the way up. Hands to the sky. And we're going to roll all the way back down. Fingers to the floor, eyes forward, heart forward. And then lifting your heels up high. Bring your butt down to your heels. And then lower your heels, lower your butt. Hello. So, from here, we're now on the floor. Get comfy if you're in the sand. Hold on to the back of your knees and lean back. So you're in a boat pose. So this is a supported boat pose. You might like to keep your feet on the floor. Or some variations, lifting the toes off the floor, heels stay on the mat. Or pointing the toes, lifting the heels off the floor. Or you can take your feet completely off the floor. Now you can either stay here with your knees, or holding onto your knees, or bring the back of your hands together. And then you're going to bring the fingertips down on the right. You're going to keep your right fingers reaching away, and you're going to make that big circle with your left shoulder, up, 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 up. All the way back, keep reaching your fingers in opposite directions. Inhale, all the way back up. Back of the hands together. Good. And across to the left. And then with your right shoulder, circle it. Forward, 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 forward. Up, 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 up. And fingers reach in opposite directions. And all the way up. And together. It's very hard doing this on a slanted beach. And then coming up. And release your feet. Rest your head on your knees, your arms and your legs. And sitting up. I've also dug myself a little hole. Now, keep your feet where they are. So they're about a thigh distance away from your butt. And then bring your hands behind you. Fingers point towards your butt. And then you're going to shrug your shoulders up and back. Squeezing your shoulder blades together. Have your elbows bent. We'll give you a little bit more movement into the shoulders. And then you're going to squeeze your bum. Lift your hips up high. And then you're going to lift the sides, your rib cage up high. So with keeping your elbows like micro bend. So we're not locking them out. But that slight bend, so your arms are going to feel even stronger. So you're going to feel like you can push yourself even higher. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. And then lower your butt back down. And again, rest your head on your knees. Arms around your legs. And then sitting up. Stretching your right leg out in front. Left leg bent out to the side for our Janushirshasana. So I'll just turn so you can see a little bit. Well, it doesn't really matter because I don't really have a mat, so I can go anywhere I really want to. Cool. So, if you feel like you're leaning back, you can either sit up on a block or bend your straight leg a little more. So if you have that idea of bending, that can help when you use the muscles to bend, then you sit up a little taller. And you're going to bring the back of your hands together, hands to the outside of your right leg. Then sitting up nice and tall, reach your right shoulder forward. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. And we're just stopping halfway at shoulder height. So keep pressing your left arm against the right leg and the right leg back against the left hand. And all the way up. And forward. Good. And maybe a second round, you might stay upright and that might feel appropriate and challenging enough. Or if it's available and your leg is straight, you might be able to come down a little deeper. And then again, one more round. Big shoulder roll. Up, 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 up. Back halfway. And then all the way up. And forward. Good. We're going to walk around to the left. And bring our left hand far out behind us. Roll onto the left shin. Squeeze your butt, lifting up high. Circle your right arm. And then you're going to lower your butt. You're going to circle your arm down. And forward, holding onto your foot. Head towards your knee. So, again, don't be afraid to bend your knee. If you need to, you can bend your knee a whole lot. Hold onto your heel. And slowly stretching your leg forward as you hold onto the heel. It just gives a bit of a different sensation. Sometimes we hold the big toe or the ball of the foot. Holding the heel just creates a different sensation. And then release and walk up. And we're going to swap sides. So the left leg comes forward. And the right leg out to the side. Remember, feel free to bend the knee. Back of the hands together. And we lead with the little finger, but it's the shoulder that moves. So the left shoulder goes forward. Up, 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 up. The slow motion backstroke. Stop halfway. And feel the arm and the hand, or the hand and the leg push against each other. And then lift your shoulder up, forward, and together. Good, so you either stay here, or if your leg is straight, you can come down a little further. And again, shoulder goes forward. All the way up, 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 up. And back. And all the way up. Forward and together. Walk yourself around to the right. Right hand stretches out behind you. Roll onto the right shin, squeezing your butt. Circle your left arm up. Looking up at the sky. And sitting back down. Rolling yourself forward. Remember, your knee can be bent or straight. Hold onto the heel, head towards your knee, and slowly straighten your leg forward. Head towards the knee, letting it be an even stretch of the entire back line of the body, trying not to favor the hamstrings. And sitting yourself up. And bring the feet together. Again, noticing if you're sitting upright. If you're slouching back, you might like to take your feet a little further away from you. it's the same pose, it's totally fine. And then just sitting for a moment, letting the back of the hands rest on your lap. You can bring the index finger and thumbs to touch. And just sitting for a moment in stillness. If your knees are up very, very high, you can wedge something in underneath or to the outer hips so you can feel yourself propped up, and that way your knees and your hips can relax a little more. There's nothing worse than trying to relax when all you can feel is your hips gripping for dear life. Just letting everything settle, feeling your spine grow nice and tall. And if for whatever reason this doesn't feel comfortable in your lap, in your hips, you can always sit with your legs crossed. Observing the sounds around you. Sounds far away, maybe sounds from this video, maybe sounds in your building, in your room. Whatever sound is, observe it, maybe acknowledge it, then moving on to the next. And then wherever you are, whether legs are crossed or you've got Baddha Konasana bound angle pose, circle your hands up, palms touch up above, and then bring your hands down to the floor and walk yourself forward for a gentle, humble bow. If you can, keeping your eyes closed, only going as far as is comfortable for you. And then walking yourself back up. And straighten your legs out, lying back onto the floor. Or if you're lying on the sand, you might like to make a little sand angel. And then just let yourself relax. Feel yourself really heavy. Feeling yourself comfortable and safe enough to let it all go, knowing that you're not going to fall anywhere because the floor or the ground is there to catch you. Just giving yourself the gift of doing nothing. Total relaxation. Total surrender. Nothing to be done. Nothing more to do. You just let it all go. And when you're ready, you can maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes like seaweed in the ocean current. Just very gently. And noticing that as your breath softens and deepens, magic begins to happen. You begin to stir. You become more awake and more alive with each breath. As your breath deepens, each breath brings in light and love, filling your entire body with light and with love, all the way out to your hands and feet, to your fingers and toes, so that whenever you need it, you have light and love right at your fingertips. And then roll onto your side. Keep your eyes closed if you can, just maintaining and savoring this moment a little longer. And even keeping your eyes closed as you bring yourself back up to a seated position. Bring your palms together, your thumbs resting at your heart. You might notice the tingles in your fingers, the light and love right there, ready whenever you need it. Thumbs against your heart. Everything's connected. Gently opening your eyes. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Namaste.